Here. All right. Good morning, everyone online there, and a few people here in the office. I just thought I'd do some training about prospecting because I find that right now, when we're searching for business and the market's picking up a little bit, it's super important to do that. And I found some sort of pain points of agents that I've been dealing with. So I thought it's a good time to talk about it today. So let me just go here and share my screen. Okay, so of course, dealing with our leads and our prospects, we have to keep on practicing our scripts and dialogues. So we're going to touch on scripts a little bit today, and you guys can let me know exactly what sort of pain points you have. So they always say that, you have to keep the conversation going with your prospects. So a lot of people fail, like I've been saying to people here, they follow these companies that give them leads and prospects, and they're not able to land these leads and prospects. A lot of people are telling me, oh, I hired a company and I've been getting these leads and prospects and it's been total garbage and I can't do it. And then I've sat down with a few of these people and I've taken the same leads and prospects that they've gotten and I've landed an appointment with the call. So what is the difference that's happening here? I think we need to learn how to nurture and treat our leads and prospects and how to approach those calls at the end of the day. So I always say, yeah, some of these lead companies, not everything is a good lead, but the beauty of it is when you take a random street and you decide to call, say, your geographical farming area. You're trying to find the needle in the haystack, right? You're calling around that whole neighborhood and you're hoping that someone in that neighborhood wants to sell. And by doing that, you're going to get 99 no's and maybe one yes. And you have to make all those phone calls. When you're using all these lead gen companies and you're getting these prospects and leads from them, or even from your KV core, when you go in and do that, you need to know how to speak to them. You need to know how to keep them on the phone so you don't get hung up on, and you need to know how to start a conversation with them. Because I always say, buyers and sellers, they're liars, right? So a lot of people you find they fill out something online, for instance, and they end up in your lead gen box somehow, either through KV Core or a company that you've hired. And then you call them and they say, no, I never put anything online. And you go, huh? Like, how do you get through that, right? So it's really, really important to talk about how we get past the no when you're first cold calling. Okay. So I don't like to call this cold calling because when you go and you call a whole neighborhood and you don't know who wants to buy or sell, that's a definite cold call. When you have that prospect in your hand from that company or from KV Core, or if the office gives you something, that is a warm lead because you already know that that person has some intention of buying or selling, or they're at least thinking about it because they took the time to fill out something online or somehow got captured, right? So we're not calling every possible client in your services on a whim. We're directly calling these people for different reasons. Okay. And it's not only different types of things that come through the lead gen, like KV Core or the office or companies you're paying. There's different ways you can focus your calls. So I want you guys to really practice this. So the first thing I keep on telling you guys is to create a farm area, and it's so important. I've been working really hard with our productivity groups, anybody who started with me, and picking out your farm area. If you haven't had a chance to sit down with me and do that yet, I encourage you. And whether you're a new agent, old agent, everybody should have a farm area picked out. Because while you go and you can you can do business anywhere. If your clients come to you and they want you to take a listing in Brampton or they want you to go to Barrie, you're going to find you can do that. But when you go and you focus your efforts to do your cold calling or your marketing, you need to pick that farm area because then you can do these different tricks and tips for focusing your calls. So we're going to take a look at today a little bit about for sale by owner calls, the FSBO calls, your expired listings, your referrals. I think referrals is important. We're not treating our referrals properly. First time home buyers, circle prospecting. We'll take a look at a few scripts and we'll try and get through it today. So first one we're going to start off with is a for sale by owner. Okay. So these are really, really good. When you're driving and you see a for sale by owner sign, I hope everybody's taking down a number because you already know this person wants to sell. Okay. And I guarantee you 99.999% of the time, when you see a for sale by owner sign on the lawn, like pretty much the very next week, you'll see a realtor sign there, right? Tell me I'm wrong. There's one on our street actually right now. And it was for sale by owner. We went in right away, tried to get the listing. But anyways, lo and behold, they went with someone else and there's a realtor sign on the lawn. So you have to try and get that number ASAP and call them, because it's the major pain for homeowners trying to sell their own home is that they think it's a really easy process. And they start getting bombarded with all the calls and the appointments and everything. And very quickly they'll tire of this. But they'll also get lowballers because everybody thinks the for sale by owner thinks they're smart for saving the commission. The public generally thinks they're smart because they're thinking, oh, they're saving the commission, I can get a better price. So it kind of gets very tiring for the for sale by owner very quickly. So we'll just go over the script here and see what it says. It says, hey, this is, Christine from Remax Ace calling about your property at 123 Main Street. Are you the homeowner? Yes. Great. I hope it's a good time to talk about it a bit. I came across your listing, and you can mention where you saw it, like whether you saw it online or whether you saw their sign. I was driving by on Bellamy and I saw it. And I want to confirm your exact asking price for the property. So they'll give you an answer and you say, I see. Could you tell me how long it's been since you put the house up for sale? And then they give you another answer. I don't know, about a week. All right. I did some market research on the house in your area before this call. My research shows some really interesting things. On average, houses in your home in your vicinity have been selling about, blank $1 million, for instance, in the past 5 years. Moreover, they take about 20 days to sell. A well-structured marketing plan can speed up your process and help you sell your house at the price it deserves. I'd love to help you do this. Would you be interested in going through a marketing plan? So very often you'll find for sale by owners are toughies because they'll say no. What we usually get is, hey, you know what? I'm going to let you, bring me a buyer. You can bring me a buyer. I'll give you 3%. Okay. I like to say to the for sale by owners, hey, you know what? Why would you pay me 3% to come and bring you a buyer? You're paying the co-op agent to represent the buyer in this transaction, and you're paying them more than market value. Normally we get 2.5% for our co-ops, right? Why don't you pay me 0.5% more and you'll have somebody to represent your best interests in this transaction? Okay. I just go expanding on the script and doing things that work with me when I'm calling for sale by owners. Another thing that works as well is we use the whole I have a buyer script. I have a buyer. I'd like to come in and book a time to see your house because I want to be able to speak intelligently about your property. I want to see what the interior looks like. I want to see what buyer it's going to fit that I'm working with, right? Your intention always is at the end of the day to get in front of that person and sit down and have an appointment, because then that's the way you're going to close this seller, right? Who's out there actually trying to call for sale by owners? Do you guys see for sale by owners and stop and take the number or take a picture down? Nobody doing it online? This is why you guys got to be pulling in more and more listings this way. Trust me, for sale by owners is one of the easiest closes. It always turns into a realtor sign on the lawn after you see a for sale by owner sign. Okay. Elevator pitch script. So this is not necessarily exactly when you have a hot lead. I use this all the time. So let's go through it and then I'll show you how I use it all the time. So any good salesperson should have an impactful answer to the question, what do you do? Right? Now, not everybody asks you what you do, but while it's tempting to respond with a quick, I'm in real estate, remember this is a great opportunity to generate interest in your service and you don't want to miss it. Well, it's not the time to launch into your 30-minute spiel, about everything. Here's a good example. Follow this formula. Identify a pain point to a solution, offer proof, and pivot with the CTA, right? So what do? I'm a real estate agent. The market has become even more difficult for first-time home buyers. Yeah, it's true. So I work specifically to help first-time home buyers make sure they get a home they want at a fair price so they can enjoy being homeowners. Actually, my brother and his wife are looking for their first home. So even though they don't know anyone offhand, planted a seed in their head that you're good at helping first-time home buyers buy their house. So I like this elevator pitch because I always tell everybody, I'm really frank when I talk to people in the office. I say I work real estate into absolutely everything I do. Okay. So I sold a lot of homes to a lot of parents at my children's schools. I bought and sold a lot just because I worked real estate and I use this elevator pitch every single time I was there at the pickup line. Okay. It didn't waste my time. So I'd be picking up my children from school and hey, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, you know what? Summer is here. The kids are going to be off soon. It's going to be crazy because, I'm so busy with real estate now, and then I'm going to have to entertain the kids. Oh, yeah, you're in real estate, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. How's the market? Oh, it's really picking up. Things are looking good. Interest rates just went down. You're going to talk whatever is pertinent to the market right then and there. You guys have to learn how to use this elevator pitch to make everyone your lead and prospect. Everyone in your circle of friends, your center of influence, should know that you're a realtor and that you're good at doing what you do in whatever kind of market we're in. So it puts a little seed in their head and they can think, hey, you know what? I have a colleague at my work and they're having trouble getting a mortgage. And you said you have good mortgage people you work with. Do you mind if I give you their number? You know what I mean? You want to always try to work to whatever people's pain points are to try and get that business, right? Never miss that opportunity. Always be thinking, right? Anytime you go anywhere. So elevator pitch is something you should always have in your back pocket anytime. And the best place is like sometimes, now there's summertime, you're going to lots of barbecues, you're going to lots of picnics. You tend to be more interactive in the summer. We're not hibernating so much, we're socializing some more. So you guys should definitely be using this everywhere you go. All right. Expired listing scripts. So I have a lot of people ask me when I'm training them in the office, say, but I don't know, are we supposed to be like contacting after expired? They say no. Technically we're not, right? So that's just a disclaimer. But everybody does it. Every realtor I know does it. Any successful realtor I know does it. So what do you do with an expired listing? They're an easy target because they've already been on the market and they haven't been able to sell for some reason, right? So what are the reasons that they haven't been able to sell? You're going to go and you have to find that out. You might look at the listing. So we just sold a listing over here in Wexford and we studied the previous listings to see what was wrong with those listings in order to gain the listing. So we went and when we studied them, we realized that the agent had listed as a 4-bedroom when it was a 3+1. Big mistake, right? Because that doesn't show the income potential in the basement. That the detached garage was listed as a carport, right? So we use these incorrect things or reasons why we felt the listing wasn't moving and how we could do better. And we took this to this expired listing, and that's how we ended up getting it. Actually, it wasn't quite expired, actually, just if you look at it online. But we would end up getting the listing at the end anyways. So you definitely want to go to these people because 1,000% they want to sell. They're already on the market and they're expired. So again, we go back to your farm area. You're going to go into your farm area and you're going to look and see in that pocket what has expired recently. What has been up 2-3 times and hasn't sold? Why hasn't it sold? And you take a few minutes to study that and troubleshoot it. Or you can call me if you're not sure and we can figure it together and you're going to call those expired listings in your pocket, right? So we'll just do a little overview of the script here, what they say that you should talk about. So hi, I'm Christine from Remax Ace. I'm calling regarding the property on 123 Main Street that are you the property owner? Yes, I see you listed your property for sale about a year ago, about 2 months ago, 3 months, whatever it is that you're seeing online, but the listing expired. Is this a good time to discuss what your needs are? Yes. Awesome. Are you looking to put it up for sale again? I'm not sure. It didn't work last time. We barely got any interest from potential buyers. I understand your concern, but let me assure you that the house is in a great property in a great location, which is why I'm interested in helping you find the right buyer. What was the highest offer you received last time? So I always say when you're going over these scripts, it's really good to read them and get used to them and try them a few times. But you guys ever get those cold callers from the duck companies and they get on the phone and they're like, hi, my name is Christine. I'm from Remax Ace. And they look like they're reading a script and it sounds fake. You guys have to read these scripts and you have to learn how to just make it sound like you're in a natural conversation. So I'm reading the script right now because we're going over this in training, but I would switch this around a little. If I was calling an expired listing, I might take this particular script and do it something like this. Hi, I'm Christine. I'm calling from Remax Ace. How are you today? Great. Awesome. I see you tried to put your property up for sale there, last month, and it was unsuccessful. Were you getting a lot of showings? Yeah, actually we got quite a few showings. We had about 15. Oh, great. Okay, awesome. Did you get any offers for the property? No, we didn't get any offers for the property. I wonder why that is. I was looking back at the listing and I see that you were listed, whatever the case may be, whatever I troubleshooted about the listing, you were listed quite a bit higher than the recent sales in your neighborhood. Oh yeah, no, I decided to list higher because then I could leave room for negotiation, right? So then I might explain to them that this will leave them longer days on the market or whatever I felt that was wrong with that listing. But what you're going to do is you're just going to try to get in the door and you're going to try to book an appointment with them at the end of the day. I would say I'd love to come by and see the property. Does like it looks as good as the pictures do online? Because I think I have some buyers in that area. Let me come by and meet with you. Do you want to do tomorrow at 2? Right? And I'm going to go sit down with them. So these expired listings are a gold mine. Honestly, if you're not chasing expired listings, you're not going to be a listing agent ever, right? Because I tell you, everybody in the GTA and everybody in Ontario that I know of is looking at expired listings in their area. Even though we have that do not contact after expired. Have you guys ever had clients complain that they're getting calls after they check that box? Yeah. I've had a million clients complain, and I've actually had gone to the doors of people whose listings have expired, and there's been a note on the door saying, if you're a realtor, don't knock on this door. Because that's how badly everybody's chasing these expired listings. Because, like I say, they're up already, they want to sell. Okay, referrals, sales script. So referrals are underutilized. I tell you, you guys should be asking every family member, every friend, every client, especially once you provide good service and they're happy, you have to turn around and you have to ask for that referral business. You'll be surprised how easy it is. Just purchased a condo for a client last week, and she's already referred us to her cousin. She hasn't even closed yet. So as long as you're providing good service, you're going to ask for that referral business. We say, great. The second they show any emotion that they're very happy with your service or they're really excited that they close, they say, thank you, thank you, thank you. You will say, no problem. Actually, the biggest thanks you could give me is a referral of anybody you know that's buying or selling. So please let me know, right? So the main point of this script is to get in touch with your past clients and ask for that repeat or referral business because we're prospecting. Okay. That's why I call this the power of prospecting, this training I'm doing this morning, because I think that everybody sits and kind of gets frustrated when we have the little slumps in business. But real estate is feast or famine. If you guys are in this and you're going to complain that it's a feast or famine business, you have to go find a 9-to-5 job because it is never going to change no matter what market we're in. It's either feast or famine. But what does a smart agent do? When it's famine, you're prospecting. Because when you're prospecting, you're building up all that business to all of a sudden flow when things are flowing, whether that be the spring market, or whether that be because the interest rate just went down, or whether that be the little boom we have before Christmas time, right? So you should be prospecting in the famine times, and that's going to be your success to being a good agent. So we're going to call around our past clients and center of influence, and we're going to ask for referrals. So you're going to say, hi, this is Christine from Remax Ace. I helped you buy your home a month ago. Remember, I wanted to check in and see how you're doing, or 6 months ago. How's the house? Everything great? You loving the area? Whatever. Yes, of course, I'm doing great. How are you and how is business? I'm great. I recently sold a house in your neighborhood, which is why I thought of you. How are things going? So even if you didn't sell a house, maybe you say, hey, I was just thinking about you because I saw XYZ. Or, oh my God, I just saw a listing go up in your area. It's $1 million. And remember, we bought 850. I think you're doing really well on that purchase, aren't you? Any reason to call that past client back. Okay. And then what you're going to say is, that's great. I'm so glad. I wanted to get in touch with you and see how things were going. We are expanding our business and believe our past happy clients are one of our best brand ambassadors. Would you be willing to write a review of your company? Your good words would really help spread our business clientele. I'd be happy to. You guys have really got me the best value for my money. I'm glad to hear that. Great. And then you mind if we use your name on our website, whatever. These guys are trying to go into kind of a referral thing. And then at the end, they're going to ask, do you know anybody looking to buy or sell a house? Please let me know if you know anybody looking. My cousin is actually looking to buy a house. I'll put her in contact. I'll put her contact information in the form. That's great. It's good talking to you. So the only mistake I see in this script, because a lot of these scripts are pre-written, is I would never leave this to up to the client to give me the information. And I'll tell you why. 90% of the time, you're not going to get that call, right? So if somebody said to me, hey, you know what? My cousin's looking to buy a house, I would say, great. Can I have your client's number? Can I have your cousin's number? And they'll say, oh, I'm not sure, let me talk to my cousin first. I don't know if I should give out her number. I'd say, great, no problem. I'll give you a shout tomorrow. And I'm going to put a reminder in my phone and I'm going to call that person back and say, hey, did you talk to your cousin? Yeah, I did. Okay, great. Did she say I could take a number? I'd love to get in touch with her. Right? Because no matter what, at the end of the day, you're probably not going to get that call back if you leave it in your client's hand. Your clients have the best of intentions. I'm not saying anything wrong about them, but it's not top priority in their mind because it's not their business, right? It's your business. You have to take ownership of that. You have to go and you have to chase that. Okay. Even though they're offering it to you, you still have to chase it at the end of the day. So I would never leave it open like this. I would always, always get that number. Okay. Online buyer lead script. Okay. So we can go over this. So I don't know whether somebody's filled out a contact form or, clicked on a pop-up or something you have on your website, or you got it from a Remax lead, or you got it from a KV Core lead, or anything you want to do like that. But this is sort of going over that at the end of the day. Hi, this is Christine calling from blank. You filled out a form online on our website regarding your interest in buying a house. Do you remember filling out the form? Okay, I've never asked that because most of the time they say no. But anyways, yes, great. I hope this is a good time to talk about it. Sure. Awesome. I wanted to make sure you get the information you requested since we did not receive a reply from the response email. So I guess they have some kind of AI maybe working. KV Core is sending AI responses for you guys, right? Actually, I think it might be important to log into KV Core during this training session just to show you guys, because I find a lot of you guys aren't checking your KV Core and you don't realize there's leads in there, and the AI is talking to these leads for you. So we'll log into there in a minute. Awesome. I wanted to make sure you get the information you requested since we didn't receive a reply from your email. I know how overwhelming the inbox can be sometimes. I see you want to buy a property in whatever. Okay, so they go on and say this is a great neighborhood and everything, but I really think that the trick to the buyer lead script is sometimes people are surfing late at night, and a lot of these capture forms you guys have either on your websites or your Facebook marketing, or if you're using some kind of marketing company, they sort of bait people into doing it because, yeah, they're passively looking online and maybe they want to view this property or get more information. They fill out the form quick, but they really have no intention of being on the phone with anybody and they get quite scared of it. And I'm sure maybe you guys are guilty of doing the same thing. Maybe you guys have filled something out online and then all of a sudden you get a phone call from the company and you're like, oh, I didn't actually want to talk to somebody in real life. So you have to get past that. I think you have to really treat these very chill, not aggressive, no commitment necessary. So most of the time I go very, very easy on these because I find if I come and I go, hey, you want to buy a house? They click, they go, no, no. Did you fill something online? No, I didn't. And they hang up the phone, right? So your purpose is to get through this. And actually, I really think a lot of you guys online should come in and we should practice on the phones because like I say, truly, I'm not even kidding. And I don't want to take any names, but I've worked with some agents in the last couple of weeks. Shiraz is smiling over there because he knows. And these guys are like, I got these leads. I paid for these leads. I'm paying $700 a month and they're garbage. I go, okay, come. And I sat them down in my office and literally had appointments booked for this week. So I think it's a manner of which you guys are going through the leads, not saying that it's right or wrong. It's just unpracticed, right? So these buyer leads, I always call them and I'm automatically know that I'm going to get hung up on or told they never filled out a contact form online and they don't know what I'm talking about and I'm crazy, right? So I'm really gentle with them. I go out on the phone and I go, I don't even say, hey, you filled out something online, blah, 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 unless they go, hey, where did you get my contact info from? I go, hi, I'm Christine calling from Remax Ace. How are you? And they go, fine, fine. Where'd you get my number from? Oh, I believe you had an inquiry. Like, were you looking to buy or sell a house in the near future? No, 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 no. Okay, maybe you were just browsing then. You something online caught your eye? Yeah, no, I saw that house in Pickering and I just clicked on it, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, that one in Pickering was really nice. You were referring to the one on this street or that street, just trying to get them to tell me where it was. Because I'm usually logged in when I'm on these phone calls. And I say, oh yeah, no, that looks like a really renovated property. Are you guys looking to upgrade? Are you currently living in a, where are you currently living? In a smaller home? Is this an upgrade for you guys? Yeah, actually, we just had a baby, and I'm see, all of a sudden the person's calmed down on the phone. If I call them and I say, hey, are you looking to buy or sell? You filled out something online, automatically they're going to be backed off, right? Because these people are usually passively looking, like I say, maybe late at night after the kids have gone to sleep, or maybe with their hubby online. They're just passively looking at this stuff online, right? So you want to be really gentle with these buyer leads that you're getting from your companies, from your KV Core, from wherever you're getting it. Introducing yourself as a real estate agent. So, a slight variation of the elevator script. So, again, sort of what I do when I'm at the meet and greet or the pickup line at school. Hi, I'm Christine with Remax Ace. I've lived here in Scarborough my whole life, right? This one says my with me and my spouse since and the kids since 2009. There have been a lot of upturns and downturns in the past 15 years and that I've been an agent, and I've helped over 200 small businesses find commercial real estate that fits their needs. So what you're always doing is, as a real estate agent, you have to morph. Like, the biggest thing with the scripts is it's always um, giving a solution to the person's pain point. So whoever I'm talking to, if somebody says to me, "Oh my God, I'm really outgrowing my office is so tight," I say, "Oh, you know what? There's lots of space, office space I can help you find. I just helped, so and so put them in a bigger office space, and they're really enjoying business there now. I can look for you if you like." So anyways, just whatever their pain point is, you're going to always introduce yourself and figure out what the solution is as a real estate agent, right? Circle prospecting. Do you guys have any specific ones you want to touch? We got about 3 more scripts we're going to go over, and then I want to log into KV Core. But anything specific you guys want me to address that you're having trouble with, you can always bring up during training, and I can tell you how I would troubleshoot it at the end of the day when you're prospecting, or doing your cold calls, right? Circle prospect. So circle prospecting is an effective calling strategy for real estate professionals to use in neighborhoods where homes sell quickly. By contacting homeowners in these neighborhoods, you might catch potential clients interested in making a profit on their homes, just like their neighbors. So how do you get their attention? Hi, this is Christine from Remax Ace. Maybe you've noticed there's been quite a few homes that sold recently in your neighborhood above market rates. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, yeah. I normally say, you see your neighbor sold for 1,050,000. That's great in this neighborhood. Things are really picking up. So I recently helped one of your neighbors. You don't even have to say I recently helped. You can look at what the brokerage has recently sold in the area. So I always talk about using the strength of your brokerage. You can look and see what we've sold or bought in the area recently to showcase, and say we, the almighty we, is the brokerage. And they sold above asking price in 3 weeks. Actually, that home generated so much interest, we still have buyers reaching out to us. So you're circling back in the neighborhood and seeing how you can pull more from that farm area. Again, you're going back to your farm area every single time for this. Okay. Leveraging recent sales, that's the same sort of thing. So you're focusing on showing homeowners the recent market trends in their neighborhood, bringing them up to date about selling prices of their neighboring houses, and helping them realize the potential they can get. So that script is pretty much similar. I'm going to log into KV Core, so I'm just going to go past those real quick. Real estate follow-up script. So whether following up with potential buyers after an open house or potential seller that's gone cold, being persistent can make the difference between a new deal and a lost one. So follow-up is key. With our prospects and our leads, I find that a lot of people say, "Oh my God, my buyer, I didn't check in with them for a couple months. I turned around and they were gone and they bought something else." A lot of times that's your own fault because you weren't following up enough. You didn't keep on top of their mind. You didn't send them a weekly email. You didn't set them on your prospect searches to send out emails, anything that matched their criteria. You didn't give them a call once a month. Some reason you lost them somehow, because once you have somebody in your circle, and Shiraz will attest to this, it aggravates me if I can't close somebody, right? Once that person comes and I know they're in need of a house or they have to sell, or they might be thinking of doing something, anything remotely in the near future. They're on my mind. I'm like, okay, what are we thinking about this person? You guys should be making lists or somehow reminding yourself or putting them in your CRM. There should be a constant reminder because you can very easily forget about that person who is in that hot lead that you're working with, like this week that you're doing showings with, right? So don't lose those people, because once you're done with the person you're working with this week, who are you doing? Who are you chasing next week, right? So you should always have that in there. So follow up is key. This script real quick says, hey, this is Christine from Remax Ace. It was great chatting with you last week about your property on 123 Main Street. I was wondering if you had a chance to think about whether you want to move forward with listing this property. So great example, working on a listing right now. I always like to give you guys examples. Went for the listing appointment. Guy says, yeah, I think I'm ready to sell, but I'm not done renovating. I'm pretty tired of renovating. I'm not getting around to it. I said, great, no problem. We'll sell as is. He says, okay, let me think about it. Called back 2 days later. I'm still mulling it over. I said, okay. Call back a few days later. I think I'm going to finish the renovations, and I'm going because I think I might get better value if I finish it. Just going to suck it up and do it. Okay, great. Call him back a week later. Hey, how's the renovations going? Great. I just ordered kitchen cabinets. They're coming in 2 weeks. I have a reminder in my phone. 2 weeks is after the long weekend. Next week, I'm going to call him again, and I'm going to say, hey, have the kitchen cabinets come in? Oh my God, I'm dying to see those cabinets. I'm going to come by, right? I'm not even really going to give him a choice. I want to come see the renovation. Why? I want to keep on top of mine. I want to keep on top of mine, and I want to be there. Even though I didn't land the listing appointment to begin with, when he finished those renos, I want the listing, right? At the end of the day. So you have to keep on top of their mind all the time. So follow up, real estate follow up is absolutely key to your business. Dangling the carrot script, right? So I don't know what they're doing here. To make cold calling more effective for your real estate business, it's essential to start with 4 factors: the right real estate marketing strategy, accurate contact information. So a lot of times, if you guys, I want to touch on this because it's a trick I use. If you guys are using some kind of service or KV Core or anything where you're getting your contacts from, I find a lot of people go, oh, the wrong number. It was wrong. The lead company gave me the wrong number. Okay. There's a couple different things. It could be a typo from the person entering it. A lot of people purposefully enter wrong numbers, especially at open houses. You guys ever called your sheet after open house and half of them are wrong numbers, right? You can also email the email that was on there. If they don't pick up after a couple phone calls, I text. If they don't pick up my phone call, my text, I email. If they don't pick up my email, maybe I'll set them up in a subscription. They're not a lost client. They just don't know necessarily who's calling, or they're like, oh no, I signed up for that and now that person's calling me, right? So you have to just keep consistent at it. A lot of times you'll get in touch with that person. I'm so surprised. I was chasing a lead last month and I called and called and called and called. What's her name? Sharon or Sherry or something like that. And I thought, oh, this lady just does not want me to talk to her. I talked to her once and she wouldn't pick up the phone again. And so I called, I texted, I emailed, I said, okay, fine. I sort of set her up on a newsletter thing. And then I couldn't believe it. She called me back. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess, you're not trying to avoid me. Maybe you're just busy. So don't give up when you get that lead and think, oh, it was a bad lead. I'm paying for nothing. They're leads and they go somewhere. They just take time and consistency. You can't expect to pick up that lead, call them, be showing them a property tomorrow, and be sold next week. Sometimes it might take 6 months before you get that lead sold or bought. But what are you doing in the meantime? 6 months from now, you're still going to be looking for business. What we're doing today is building our business for the future. It's like, I always say to everybody, it's like you ever make a snowball, right, in the winter, and you sit there and you start pushing it, and the snowball gets really big. And once the snowball's really big, it's really hard to push. So if you stop pushing, once you go try to push that snowball again, it's really hard to budge, right? And the reason is you can do the same thing in real estate. You got to keep that snowball moving all the time. You got to keep on adding and making your snowball bigger and bigger and making your client contacts bigger and bigger and bigger. Because second you stop in real estate, even though you feel busy today and you made a commission, you're going to starve 6 months from now because you're not pushing your snowball. You're not feeding it all the time. You're not making it bigger, if that makes any sense. Right? Okay, I'm just going to log into my KV Core real quick. just because I want to show you guys where you should be looking. This is just a quick one off the top of the head because I know a lot of you guys are using lead gen companies, but there is actual leads coming into your KV Core. How many of you have logged into your back office? If you guys need help logging into your back office and you are stuck there and you don't know how, you can call me. There's a number at the bottom there as well. They don't generally keep you on hold that long. Let me stop the share and come back in so I can make sure you guys can see my screen. Okay, so you're going to log into your Mac Center, which is www.remax.net. If you're new to Remax or new to the brokerage, or your previous Remax didn't show you, you guys can come in. There is so much stuff back here. KV Core is a huge addition that happened just a couple of years ago to our back office. In here, there are so many things that you can use. There's the CRM, which again is absolutely essential to your business when you're doing prospecting. You should be keeping really good notes about all your clients, what your last conversation was, whether they had a baby, whether they're expanding their family, whether they need to get to a bigger house, whether they're got a job move, whatever the case may be. Put all those notes in there. You'll never remember otherwise. And that's when you talk to them again and you're going to go, oh, okay, I remembered I talked to them last time. They just had a baby. Hey, how's the baby, right? It's a personal touch that you can't do without a CRM and keeping good notes, okay? So when you come in, this is your dashboard in KV Core, okay? And your leads come here to your front page. So right now I have it synced with my my Gmail, right? Because I do everything in my KV Core here. So I'm just going to filter it to only give me the new leads. Okay, so you see leads come in on a fairly regular basis, okay? What you should be doing is you should be going into them and clicking and seeing and following up with these people. So let's just look at Annie Mahag, right? New lead, it's a buyer. And don't forget that the AI is talking back and forth to these people in KV Core. So if you're not following up with them, then that's a mistake on your guys' part. So they viewed 289 Crafter, right? I'm just seeing what else happened in here because this isn't actually my lead. This is all office. So I'm just seeing if this agent actually interacted at all. Hi, thanks for requesting property info on our site. Just curious, are you actively searching for a property or just browsing right now? So that's not actually our agent talking. That's the AI here. It sent them a text message from this because once they enter into this AI not only speaks to them via email, it might be sending them a text as well. You should just do some kind of inquiry online or sign yourself up in KV Core as a contact and put yourself on a campaign and see how this works. It actually sends you a lot of information, text, email. It really seems like a live agent is interacting with them. So then it says again, hi, you visited our website the other day. I meant to ask, are you an investor? Are you looking for a primary residence? Right? It keeps on going. It keeps on talking. I was about to set up some alerts that'll notify you when a new property hits the market. Are there specific areas and price ranges you're interested in? Right? So it's going back and forth. But the thing is that if you don't pick up the phone and try and call this person, you're going to lose them. I'm just trying to see if there's any live interaction. So no live interaction on this one, but go into your KV Core and see if there's anything in there. Have you guys gotten any leads from KV Core and tried calling them? Anybody online log into their KV Core? Are there Remax Mac Center? Guys, you got to log in. You got to log in and you got to check it out. So you should be getting leads from there. You should also be making sure that your Remax profile is set up nicely. So if you go to your, let me just go to my share here real quick. If you back out of here and you go to Mac Center, you have to go here and make sure that your profile is edited properly because Remax has a referral program and say they're looking for an agent in Scarborough that speaks French. Because I speak French and my office is in Scarborough, I'm more likely to catch that algorithm from Remax head office and get that referral So it's just something that randomly comes to you through Remax head office, right? And it'll come to you more likely than other agents. So you got to go and make sure. See, I filled out all my social media on here, my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, whatever. What my specialties are, what my service areas are. So I have generally around here GTA, East York, Ajax, but I also put Kawartha Lakes in there, which is important. I work a lot up in Kawartha Lakes, right? Purchase, lease, sale, tenant representative, right? Here you go. I have my languages, English and French. So go in and make sure that your profile is polished in your Remax back center, your Remax Max Center. Here we go. Anybody have any questions so far? Or any pain points? Anything you're struggling with when you're trying to find business? You guys getting hung up on a lot? So I find that everybody is terrified to cold call, and you guys have to laugh things off. So I'll end the training with a funny story. I always tell you guys funny stories, but when I fail, or I like to hear everybody else's fail. And actually, in my last office, I used to start every meeting by telling me one fail and one success. Everybody tell me one fail, one success. And I think that the fails are more important than the successes, because we get to troubleshoot what happened during that fail that will make you successful the next time. So I'll end the training with one funny anecdote. So last week, I was just telling Shiraz this too, because he wasn't even there when it happened, and I was laughing so hard to myself. I called this lady, right? So I'll back up a little bit. I'm sure all of you guys have heard the story where I called and this guy hung up on me when I was trying to cold call. And then I realized a week later, a colleague in my office, a good friend of mine, got the listing. And so we were upset. And so we called the guy back and we said, hey, what happened? Why, like, we called you and you hung up on us. He goes, yeah, I hung up on him too, but he called me back. So he gave our colleague in our office, the listing, because he had called him back even though he got hung up on. So I've done this over and over again now, and I brought it down to a finesse, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, did we get disconnected? And they'll be like, no, I hung up on you or whatever. So last week I called a lady and she hung up on me, and I was like, okay, fine. So tried to call back again, and went right to voicemail. And I thought I dialed back too quickly, right? But maybe she sent me to voicemail. I don't know. So I called back again, and she was like, why you call me so much? I hang up on you. Why are you calling me back? So I got off the phone and I hung up and I just laughed it off. So just a little anecdote for you guys. Don't take it too seriously when you're doing this cold calling. It's not a terrifying thing, right? You got to think of it at the end of the day that if you get hung up on, they say 1 out of every 100 calls you make. So if you got hung up on, great, you didn't waste the time talking to that person on the phone. You're closer to getting to the 100, to the one that's going to land you the deal and get you that listing or that buyer, right? So don't sweat the small stuff. Have a lovely week. Do lots of cold calling. Pick your farm area. If you guys want to get organized a little bit, I am sitting down with everybody doing a little bit of productivity planning with picking your farm area, your all your searches and what your marketing you're going to do in that area and how we're going to focus on it. So you're welcome to book time with me and sit down and we can plan your business a little bit. All right. Everybody good in line? You guys are so quiet. Everybody have a lovely week. Everybody have a lovely long weekend. It's a long weekend. So everybody relax and be nice and refreshed for next week and have lots of energy. All right. Have a good week, everyone. Have a good morning.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.